Okay, good morning. Today is September 9th, and I'm going to be talking to you today about the resources that we have as realtors. Being a member of the National Association of Realtors, we have access to not only the National Association of Realtors website, but also our state website as Washington Realtors and with our local association. I'm also going to talk about the Northwest MLS briefly and show you places to find the answers to the questions you may have. These are the places that I go for all of my Q&A. So the first one is the National Association of Realtors. Their website is nar.realtor. Now, what the National Association of Realtors website is going to provide you is things that are going to enhance the brand and the realtor logo, the realtor name. So you'll find mostly things like branded material, explanations for consumers that explain what a realtor is, and the benefits of hiring a realtor over somebody who is not a realtor. On their website, you can actually get more information for consumers by clicking the real estate topics, and you can follow any of these links to find out more information. Starting your career, if you have questions about condominiums, just about home inspections, anything on the legal side of the national level, you can find them under the tab with real estate topics. They also do have a store, so if you want to wear t-shirts or have branded material, so while you're out in public, it creates a nice conversation starter. This is where you would go to find that. Also, if you have questions about commercial real estate, they do have information on commercial real estate. But more than using the National Association's website, my particular favorite with the most valuable resources to me personally is Washington Realtors. They can be found at warealtor.org. When you log into the Washington Realtors, you're going to see a screen that looks like this. Now, your login is your NRDS, or otherwise known as your NERDS number. This is a 9-digit number that you get when you become a Realtor member. If this is your first time logging into Washington Realtors, your NERDS number is the login and your password. And once you log in, it will prompt you to change that password. You can hit save. It's very good at remembering your password, so you don't have to keep doing this over and over. If you do have questions about it, though, if you do have questions about this, it is quite easy to reach out to them. They're very helpful to get you signed up in this, so you have access to this website. Once you log in, these are my two favorite places to go. One is education and events, and the other one is this tab on the side that has CE certificates and the legal hotline. So I'm going to go down one of these right now. This would be the legal hotline. The legal hotline is where the question and answers are sent from agents all over the state who have various scenarios and situations come up. They type in their question to the legal hotline, and the legal hotline lawyer will answer their questions. Once you click that, it brings you to this. And when you scroll it down, you will find two options. One would be to access that Q&A database, and the other one would be to ask a question. Now, if you have asked maybe a managing broker, a designated broker, and they're not quite sure of the answer, or if you have something incredibly complicated that you are suggested to ask the legal hotline, the tab over here to the right that says ask a hotline question is how you go ahead and do that. When you click it will give you a space. Somebody needs to mute, sorry.
I gotcha.
Thanks. When you ask these questions, it will actually CC the designated broker. So the designated broker is going to know that you had a question that was submitted to the legal hotline and will be CC'd on the reply to that question. But try here first, access the Q&A database. Once you're here, there is a huge selection on the left-hand side that has pretty much every subject question you could think of. You can type in keywords to find a question, or you can just scroll down and start reading. A lot of times I've just started reading through these questions, especially with the new changes in compensation. But be careful if you're looking up compensation questions because our entire state does not operate the same way anymore. Under the education tab, you'll be able to register for classes, take your code of ethics trainings, see what's available out there, like what events are happening, what Washington Realtor sponsored events are happening. And if you take classes, say through Annie Fitzsimmons, or if you do the draft like a lawyer, any class that you've taken through Washington Realtors saves your certifications and your clock hours. So you actually have a space to go to review all of the classes you've taken. I typically take most of my classes through Washington Realtors. So I have a pretty good history of my clock hours this way. It makes it really easy to kind of save that information for your license renewal. You can also get different certifications through this tab as well. So it says the designations and certifications. That's one tab you can click. You can become a certified buyer rep, certified seller rep. You can get many, many certifications in here, and those are links to those classes to obtain them. On the events side, it'll have events that are happening right now. There's really not a whole lot in Western Washington. A lot of them are in Central or Eastern Washington. But if you do sign up for a class, I would make sure that you're signing up for classes that are applicable to our area, because like I said, with these changes, it's really splitting up our state and how they're teaching things. And we want to make sure that we're hearing the right things. Going into the education tab, I just clicked it open right here, and this is how the list will start. So they look like this. There's a fair housing class coming up in October on the 2nd, savvy buyer strategies on the 3rd, a code of ethics class on the 4th. This tab is packed full of education opportunities with clock hours. Some of them are live and some of them are in person. I'm sorry, some of them are webinars and some of them are in person. These three I happen to click are all via webinar. So you could sign up for right here. You have 9 possible clock hour options within a 3-day period. You can click on details and you can actually register directly from this website for those classes. They'll send you a link like anything else, and then you just hop on the computer and they'll send you your certificate when you're done. My other favorite place to go for resources when I have questions is just directly to the Northwest MLS. I like them a lot because, first of all, we are in the Northwest MLS. They're going to be the most current when it comes to what our rules are with this with the settlement. And they do offer live training. If you are an agent who has not gone through Transaction Desk 1 and 2, I would highly recommend Transaction Desk and Advanced Transaction Desk. It'll make your life so much easier when just pulling documents through, getting signings turned around fast. It's just a very kind of cool, it shows you tricks on how to just navigate through Transaction Desk. Many of these things are free. Many of these things are available online, and there are some in-person workshops. I took several in-person workshops back before, Zoom was a thing, and they were very, very helpful. So this is the thing that pops up that all of us say, oh, I've already read this, or hey, I'll read it later. Take a second and just read it right up front, because these things pop up when those dates are coming up right here and now. In the Northwest MLS, this is in the home screen. This is also another one of my favorite places to go. Right here, you can see this is just from last night. I took the most recent screenshot I could, and it shows all the legal bulletins as the top front and center latest news. You can click on read more and you can find out all the information they have on those changes. You can look up anything that has come out recently with, right here, this middle tab says the latest on inventory and lower mortgage rates and affordability. They have resources and articles that you can read to just make sure that we are staying as current as possible when our clients come to us and ask us these questions. Here's where you also access, as we know, the matrix. But express forms is where I like to kind of take this. If you're going to go to transaction desk, you can immediately jump to transaction desk, or you can go into the matrix and go to transaction desk that way. But for the purpose of the Q&A, I go to express forms. Once you get to express forms, you can either put in a topic or you can search all the forms that are listed below. Oops. It'll bring you to a list that's like this. And we know where to find this typically. We look at these forms all the time. But to the right of most of these forms is a manual on how to use them. So it will talk about the purpose. If you looked up, say, the 1A and you looked up the manual for 1A, it would tell you that this is the listing agreement you're going to sign for pretty much any listing you put together. It doesn't matter what kind. It could be manufactured house, it could be a condo, it could be vacant land, but that is the listing agreement form that you're going to have signed. So when in doubt, look at the forms manual. If you need to know how to fill in a blank, it explains exactly what goes in those blanks. Another amazing resource is going to be your local association. This is your local realtor association. So we're part of 3 different associations when we're members of NAR. We're part of the National Association, the State Association, and then something more local. Our local association, well, mine right here is wouldeberealtors.com. Probably not yours, but you can go to your local association. What yours will provide are classes that are local to your area, things that are relevant to your specific county. So this is going to be just a more focused spot to find real estate information. I go here when I want to find a local class that's being held or some sort of calendar events. You can actually be part of your local association. You could be on the board of directors. You could be a member of your local association. So you have a little bit of, your eyes will be opened a little bit as far as how they take these resources to help the agents in those areas grow. In my website here, you can see that they have links to all sorts of, just material. They have live links to all these different articles. It just helps keep us completely knowledgeable. We don't want ourselves to ever be in a situation where our clients feel like they know more about the market than we do or more about housing, anything than we do. We need to be the experts. So this is just one more place we can find information to know, hopefully the most that we can. What I would like to do is show you how to live interact with these websites. So I'm going to be doing a screen share and I will walk through how to actually navigate those things. But for the purpose of this class, I just wanted to give you the places to go, the things to type in, and what to consider when you are looking for just finding out more about our industry. So I appreciate everybody tuning in.